given his lordship had already told me the truth.
In Outlander, nothing ever happens without a price. But what if the next episode is where everything finally breaks? The trailer for episode 8, titled In the Forest, doesn't just tease another chapter. It quietly signals a turning point where loyalty, survival, and fate begin to collide in ways no one can control anymore. And if you look closely, every single moment in that trailer feels like a warning. The tension begins with a feeling that something irreversible has already started. Jaime is no longer standing at the edge of conflict. He is walking straight into it. The preparations we see are not just about strategy or defense. They carry the weight of inevitability. The Battle of King's Mountain is no longer a distant threat. It is now a reality that is pulling every character into its orbit. What makes this moment so powerful is not just the idea of war, but the quiet understanding that history is about to repeat itself in a way that cannot be avoided. Jaime has always been a man who fights with purpose, but this time feels different. There is a sense that even he knows this battle may not end the way he hopes. Every decision he makes now carries consequences that could echo far beyond this episode. At the same time, Claire's presence adds another layer of emotional tension. She understands the cost of war better than anyone. For her, this is not just about survival. It's about watching the man she loves step into something that could take him away forever. And yet, she doesn't try to stop him. That silence, that acceptance, speaks louder than any words ever could. It shows that both of them are now bound by a fate they cannot escape. Then comes the unexpected arrival hinted at in the trailer. This moment is crucial because it shifts the balance of everything we think we understand. An unexpected visitor is never just a coincidence in this story. It always brings change and often danger. The question is not just who this person is, but what they represent. Help, a warning, or something much worse. As the tension builds, we also start to feel that this episode is not just about one storyline. It is about multiple threads slowly tightening at the same time. The forest itself becomes more than just a setting, it feels like a symbol. A place where things are hidden, where paths are unclear, and where one wrong step can change everything. And that is what makes this episode feel so intense even before it begins. Nothing is certain anymore. Not the outcomes, not the alliances, not even the safety of the characters we have followed for so long. Every moment in the trailer suggests that we are moving towards something unavoidable, something that will test every relationship and every belief. Because in the end, this is not just a story about war. It's about what people are willing to lose when they know they might not win. If the first part of this episode is about war approaching from the outside, then this part is about a storm building from within. And at the center of it all stands William, a character who is no longer confused but deeply wounded. In Outlander, William has always struggled with identity, loyalty, and truth. But now everything he believed in feels unstable. The trailer shows him distancing himself from the very people who once gave him direction, especially Lord John Grey. And this separation doesn't feel calm or thoughtful. It feels emotional, rushed, and filled with regret. What makes William's situation so intense is that his anger is not simple. It is layered. On the surface, it may look like frustration or betrayal. But underneath, there is something much deeper, a sense of being lost. Every truth he has discovered about his past has only made things more complicated. Instead of clarity, he has found confusion. Instead of peace, he has found distance. And this is where the trailer gives us one of its most powerful moments. William in tears. That image alone tells us that his decisions are not coming from strength, but from pain. It suggests that whatever choices he makes in this episode may not be the right ones, but they will be real. And sometimes the most dangerous actions come from emotions we don't fully understand. At the same time, his connection with Amaranthus adds another layer of tension. The trailer hints that she is searching for him, which raises an important question. Are her feelings genuine, or is there still something hidden beneath the surface? William's earlier disappointment has already shaken his trust. So even if she is being honest now, will he be able to believe her? This emotional conflict becomes even more complicated when we consider the possibility of danger surrounding him. The trailer shows a moment where a gun is pointed at Lord John Grey. At first glance, it feels like it could be William, especially given their recent conflict. But if we look deeper, it may not be that simple. There is a strong possibility that external forces are closing in, people connected to Ben, who may still be searching for William after his escape. If that is true, then William is no longer just dealing with emotional struggles. He is now caught in a situation where his life, and the lives of those around him, are in immediate danger. And this is where things take a dramatic turn. If Lord John Grey becomes the one captured instead of William, the entire dynamic changes. Suddenly, the person William pushed away becomes the one who needs saving. And that kind of reversal can force a character to confront everything they have done. Imagine the weight of that realization. The regret. The urgency. The need to fix something that may already be broken. This could be the moment where William is forced to make a choice, not based on anger, but on responsibility. And if he cannot do it alone, there is only one person he may have to turn to. Jamie. That possibility alone carries immense tension. Because asking Jamie for help is not just a strategic decision, it is an emotional one. It means facing the truth he has been trying to avoid. It means accepting a connection he has not fully come to terms with. So while the war continues to build in the background, William's story becomes something just as powerful. A personal battle. A fight between pride and truth. Between distance and connection. And by the time this part of the episode unfolds, one thing becomes very clear. The biggest conflicts are no longer happening on the battlefield. They are happening inside the characters themselves. As everything begins to come together, Episode 8 of Outlander starts to feel less like a continuation, and more like a collision. Because now, two powerful forces are moving at the same time, and neither of them can be stopped. On one side, the Battle of King's Mountain is getting closer with every passing moment. The tension is no longer building slowly, it is accelerating. Every preparation, every alliance, every quiet conversation now carries a sense of finality. This is not just another fight. This is the kind of moment that defines what comes after. Jamie stands at the center of it all, but what makes this situation so intense is the shadow hanging over him. There has always been a question surrounding his fate in this battle, and the trailer carefully plays with that fear. It doesn't confirm anything, but it doesn't offer comfort either. Instead, it creates a feeling that something irreversible may happen. And yet, there is also a subtle hint of hope. The arrival of unexpected allies suggests that the outcome may not follow the path history has written. In a story where time, destiny, and choice constantly clash, even the smallest change can create a completely different result. The question is, will it be enough? At the same time, another storyline begins to rise with equal intensity. If Lord John Grey is truly taken prisoner, then the focus shifts immediately to a rescue. And this is where everything becomes even more unpredictable. Because a rescue mission is not just about action, it is about urgency, risk, and sacrifice. It forces characters to act quickly, often without knowing the full consequences. And in this situation, the emotional weight behind that rescue makes it even more powerful. If William is the one who realizes what has happened, then this becomes his turning point. Not just as a character, but as a person. Regret alone is not enough anymore. He has to act. And the only way forward may be to seek help from the very man he has been trying to distance himself from. That connection, to Jamie, becomes unavoidable. What makes this dynamic so compelling is that it is not simple or comfortable. There is tension, history, and unresolved emotion between them. But in a moment like this, none of that can be ignored. Because when someone's life is at stake, pride becomes meaningless. And this is where the episode could reach its most powerful emotional peak. A moment where past conflicts are forced into the present. Where decisions are made not out of anger, but out of necessity. And where relationships begin to change in ways that cannot be undone. Meanwhile, the forest itself continues to feel like more than just a setting. It represents uncertainty. It represents danger. And most importantly, it represents the unknown. Every path within it leads to something, but no one truly knows what that something will be. By the time these two storylines begin to overlap, the battle and the rescue, the episode transforms into something much bigger than expected. It becomes a test of everything: loyalty, courage, and the ability to face truths that have been avoided for too long. And as the tension reaches its highest point, one question remains unanswered. Will they be able to change what is coming, or are they already too late? By the time Episode 8 of Outlander reaches its final moments, it may not give answers, but it will leave consequences. Because this is the kind of episode where even survival comes at a cost. If the battle unfolds the way the tension suggests, then no one walks away unchanged. War in this story is never just about victory or defeat. It's about what is taken from the people who endure it. And for Jamie, this could be the moment where his strength is tested not just physically, but emotionally. Every decision he makes on that battlefield may protect lives, but it may also take something from him that he cannot get back. Claire, on the other hand, may be forced into a position she fears the most, waiting. Watching events unfold without being able to control them. And in a story like this, waiting is often more painful than fighting. Because she understands what is at stake. She understands history. And deep down, she knows that not everything can be changed. At the same time, if the rescue storyline reaches its peak, then the emotional consequences could be just as powerful as the battle itself. If Lord John Grey is saved, it will not erase what happened before, but it will change what comes next. For William, this could be the moment that defines who he truly is. Not the titles, not the past, but the choices he makes when everything is on the line. If he steps forward, if he faces Jamie, if he accepts the truth he has been running from, then this is where his real journey begins. But if he doesn't, then the distance between him and everything he has lost may become permanent. And that is what makes this episode feel so important. It is not just moving the story forward, it is reshaping it. Relationships are shifting. Loyalties are being tested. And the characters are slowly being pushed toward versions of themselves they may not be ready to face. Even the smallest moments in this episode could carry weight into the finale. A single decision, a single loss, a single realization. These are the things that will stay long after the action is over. Because as the series moves closer to its ending, the story is no longer asking what will happen next. It is asking something much deeper. Who will these characters become after everything they've been through? And once that question is answered, there will be no turning back.